Hola, bienvenidos at Tina's Spanish Cafe, where we share in conversation, we share cafecito, always, and most importantly, we learn some Spanish. Today's lesson is so easy that whenever I teach this lesson to my students, it only takes one time, but it's an important lesson. You know how in English you have the ing form, like when you say, I am studying, or I am singing, or I am talking, like I'm doing right now. That's the lesson that we're going to have in Spanish. And like in English, it has two parts. In English, you have the verb to be, I am, and then the next verb with the ing form. Same thing in Spanish. That's why it's so easy. Ah, qué rico mi cafecito. Vamos al pizarrón. I have some of the words already written on the board. Two parts. The verb to be that you use for this in Spanish is estar. I know that there are two verbs in Spanish that mean to be. One is ser, one is estar. What you use for this lesson is estar. I'm going to conjugate it first. Remember that to conjugate is when each subject takes its own form of the verb. And as a reminder, the yo form is estoy, tú estás, él, ella, usted, you formal, está, nosotros, estamos, ustedes, you guys, están, ellos, and ellas están. Notice that every form except the yo form and the nosotros form has an accent mark. That is the first part for this lesson. Then you have the next part, which is the verb AR or ER or IR ending, the ending of those verbs. We're going to start with a verb that ends in AR, like hablar. So what you do is, and I need mi marcador, so what you do is, you take the estar form, let's do it yo, it's usually the easiest one because it's the first one, and the correct form of estar, so yo estoy, there's that dark enough, yo estoy. Let's take the verb hablar, we said, which is an AR ending verb. You drop the AR, I'm going to even write it here so you can see it. Hablar is the one we're using. You drop the infinitive ending, which is AR. Remember that the infinitive is the form of the verb in its basic form before you conjugate it. So you drop the infinitive ending, which in this case is AR, and all you do is add ando. So, yo estoy hablando. That means what? I am talking. ING. That easy? Let's take another verb. Let's take the verb enseñar. Enseñar. Mi borrador. Just right here. Instead of hablar, I'm going to write here enseñar, which means to teach. Enseñar. Again, you drop the infinitive ending of enseñar and you add ando. Now you say, yo estoy enseñando, which is exactly what I'm doing right now. I am teaching, ing there. Yo estoy enseñando. You do that with every subject. We could say nosotros. Then use, of course, the correct form of estar that goes with nosotros. Nosotros estamos hablando. Drop the AR and add ando. Ustedes. Ustedes están escuchando. Escuchando, we're used there the verb escuchar. What's escuchar? To listen. I don't know if you can see that easily there. Escuchar. Yo estoy hablando. Yo estoy enseñando. Ustedes están escuchando. See how easy that is? Now let's go. What if you have a verb that is not AR ending, but ER or IR ending? It's just as easy. You drop the infinitive ending, which is ER or IR, but instead of adding ando to the stem that you have left, you add yendo. Let's take a look at one of those. I'm going to erase enseñando because that's taking most of the board. And let's take the verb comer. 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 And if you want to say I am eating, don't bother me. Yo estoy comiendo. Again, I use the estoy. Remember, there are two parts to this. You need the form of estar, and you need the other verb that tells you what it is that you're doing. You drop the infinitive ending, and if the verb ends in AR, you add ando. If it ends in ER or IR, you add yendo. This is another one with ER. Beber, beber. Tú, I'm going to change to tú instead of yo because I always use yo. Tú estás, accent mark here, bebiendo, bebiendo cerveza, beer, cerveza. You are bebiendo. Infinitive of is beber, here ends in ER. You drop the ER and you add yendo. Tú estás bebiendo cerveza o tú estás bebiendo Coca-Cola. Yo estoy bebiendo cafecito. Fácil, huh? We'll do one with IR. Let me get rid of this. And instead of ER, like we just had, I'm going to have escribir, which ends in IR. And escribir means, to write. Escribir. Escribir, to write. What if you wanted to say, I am writing a book? Right now, I am writing. And remember, you use this when you are doing something at the moment, okay? Yo estoy, form of estar, that goes with yo. And what do we do here? Drop the IR and add yendo, I-E-N-D-O. Yo estoy escribiendo un libro. Un libro. See that? Yo estoy escribiendo un libro. One more. Abrir. Abrir. To open. Ustedes están, the form that goes with estar that goes with ustedes. Ustedes están abriendo, opening la puerta, the door, or los libros, you are opening the books. Now, you can use all these different answers to this question. ¿Qué? Remember, all question words have an accent mark. You need the upside down question mark for questions. ¿Qué estás haciendo? Haciendo. Let me get rid of this so that I can leave that question by itself. This means, what are you doing? ¿Qué estás haciendo? The infinitive of this would be the verb hacer. Hacer, which means to do or to make. It means both. So, what did I do here? I dropped the ER The verb hacer, not hacer. Remember that the H is always silent in Spanish. So, ¿qué estás? So I drop the ER and I add yendo. ¿Qué estás haciendo? And then you could give me all the different answers. Yo estoy hablando por teléfono. O ¿qué estás haciendo? Yo estoy escuchando música. Yo estoy bebiendo leche. O yo estoy leyendo un libro. This question, ¿qué estás haciendo? What are you doing? You singular, huh? That means with two. But I could also say, ¿qué están haciendo? Huh? What are you guys all doing? ¿Qué están haciendo? ¿Qué están haciendo? Oh, I noticed that here I forgot my question mark. ¿Qué están haciendo? Then you say, well, we are. Nosotros estamos comiendo pizza. Or nosotros estamos mirando la televisión. We are watching TV. So I know this is an easy lesson, probably a lot of repetition, but it is handy to be able to say what you are doing at the moment and also to be able to ask someone, hey, what are you doing? ¿Qué estás haciendo? Or what are you all doing? ¿Qué están haciendo? Remember, two parts. The verb estar, conjugated of course, plus the next verb. If it's AR, drop the AR, add ando. If it's ER or IR, drop the infinitive endings, ER and IR, and add yendo. Gracias. I hope it was a helpful lesson. Y, as always, hasta la próxima. Gracias.